I know, tired. Oh, phone music. Okay, in the top right as the magenta Psycore, we have Volcanic and his ally as the Sky Russia. We have xyhh playing as Team Swordfish. In the bottom left as the Cyan Psycore, we have NorthfireZ and his ally as the Red Latin Confederation. We have Wavepy, who is moving his MCV. It looks like Wave's just beelining it straight for this gem patch here, which is a fair play, although hopefully the time invested in that doesn't cost him too badly. Both players, again, fairly standard opening up with all the dogs just to get scouting information really as the Fog of War, Shroud remains in place. Scorpion Trail, quite a big map. Normally you would see a lot of Scorpion Cell on this map, quite funnily enough. What would you expect? The map's called Scorpion Trail. What else do you want? Of course they're going to be everywhere. But alas, no, but we have the next best thing. We have Psycore. We're going to be looking to see, I imagine, quite a lot of Marauders out here for both teams. With their Cell players, with their Psycore players respectively. For those for the uninitiated here, as we've noticed in the chat, we've got some vanilla RA2 players. The Marauder is the Psycore Tier 2 tank. It's very fast, it hits quite hard. It is, however, it's not exactly the most durable thing in the world. It's quite it's amphibious as well, but that doesn't matter on this map. It's a bit of a glass cannon, but it has range and the damage to compensate. It's basically pretty much overpowered. I'm not going to even try and lie. It's with it, the speed and the damage it offers, you simply just dominate most engagements as you just kite away. I have no idea what is there. But here we are. Wave mining out the gem patch there. As I don't think he's been discovered. Yeah, that's xyhh's dog. Yeah, they've gotten on to what Wave's doing now. If they're smart, Volcanic might just go straight into Lasher tank production. Yeah, they're calling for rush. Hey, there's no way. And they're doing that in all chat as well, I'm 80% sure. So North is probably going to be very much aware of that. Yeah, they're gonna rush. So that's basically North telling his ally, go get your ass in gear and make sure you're ready to defend, because they're gonna rush your ass down, because that gem patch is gonna give Wave a significant lead, but he's gonna be behind on time. Spain getting production up. xyhh having secured his Tech Veteran Academy. Veterancy and elite status, not as broken as it was in Vanilla RA2. In Immense and Omega, you just get flat 40% health buff, but conscripts aren't the most durable things in the world. They'll still die to anti-infantry weapons. But veterancy for phone infantry, on the other hand, is exceptionally scary, because knife frames are tanky buggers with 280 hit points. If you double that by, well, no, don't double it. If you add 40% to that, which is someone else can do the maths, because it's been years since I did GCSE mathematics. I imagine that equates to a lot. North looking to bully the Veteran Academy with just a single Gatling tank, but its armor warhead doesn't, its structure warhead doesn't fucking nothing. Look at it. It's on full rev now. It's enough to warrant a response, but it's not exactly, you know, the hardest hitting thing. North warning his ally, the fact that Volcanic may be preparing for a driller. He barely has radar out yet though, but that doesn't mean he can't make the engineers in advance. Gatling tank haven't been bullied away there, although it did take some serious damage to just the conscript mass. It is still alive, that can be repaired. Not sure what Wave is doing with his conscripts down here. He needs to be ready to make sure that he doesn't get his ass rushed down, especially with the fact that he's on low ground. with the fact that for every 2 tiles higher you are than the enemy, you get +1 range. There we are, initiates. Well, that's a lot of engineers. I'm not sure what Volcanic is up to there with that many engineers. It looks like he's going to chuck them all in stingers, then proceed into lasher tank production. So xyhh being relatively conservative with his miners there. He's got 6 of them out there on that ore patch, giving him a relatively stable economy, sitting on around 3k. North having 2 out there on the gem patch, another 3 on this ore field here, slightly behind on the miner count I imagine, but his economy is also relatively stable. The extra gems here providing a nice boost. More ghost miners are in production. Nothing at the barracks yet, but that's to be expected considering the state of the economy. Wave, however, mining out all of the gems with 5 miners, is now going to start receiving a significant boost to his economy. He is in fact the richest player on the field by large, with 5,000 in the bank almost. We're seeing Pandora Hub go down for Volcanic here. Pandora Hub being the tier 2 unlocked. He will now start moving towards Marauder production after he's... Yep, there we go. We're going to start seeing Marauders out here after the Stinger. The Stinger being the repair unit for Epsilon, also serving as a detector. If you stick an engineer inside it, it will convert into a repair weapon, otherwise it just has an acid spit attack. Okay, yeah, North's declaring to his ally they're doing Marauders now, be prepared. Latin Confederation are the only faction that could really realistically stand up to Marauders here. What Wave's going to have to do is have a large conscript screening force and then rely on mortar quads with Jaguars to back him up, basically doing what North did in the last game. You'll have the economy to support it, but that gem money is going to wear off after a while. But for now, he can support it. He's looking to start putting some aggression on. However, I don't think that's the best move. We're going to start seeing more Marauders come out now for Volcanic. xyhh is now on tier 3 with the Palace production down. I believe we're going to see Volkov out on the field relatively shortly. Volkov being the Russia commando unit with an arm with a Tesla cannon, has a stun attack that hits up to 3 enemies. Quite powerful. Used to be one of the most overpowered heroes in the game, but now manageable. Definitely more of a support unit. We're going to start seeing the first engagement down here with mortar quads opening up and conscripts doing exactly what conscripts are meant to do, which is buying time and absorbing fire away from the valuable items of the enemy in his army, i.e. the mortar quads and the Jaguar tanks. However, the repair stingers mopping that up ever so slightly, repairing any of the damage done. Wave's going to need a lot more mortar quads in order to start killing units here. Starting to see, considering build of ally is off, xyhh has moved a second MCV down here and is now making hammer defenses in order to try and assist his ally, putting a stop onto Wave's attack here, as Volcanic just simply moves his army, kites Wave for all it's worth. All he's killing are conscripts and flak troopers though, so nothing really too juicy here. North going for a counter-based crawl of his own. He looks like he's going to try and secure this gem patch here with an army of lashers, primarily spooks, the Epsilon equivalent to the dot attack dog. And he looks like he's going to try and capture xyhh's Tech Veteran Academy. However, there is a veteran Chitskoi, and by that I can imagine there's a Volkov in that army. Yep, there is Volkov. North's going to have a very fun time trying to clear that mob out. There we go, spooks moving in there, one shot all the getting a bunch of conscripts, but not exactly too many. As Chitskoi now moving to die to the army, but it doesn't affect anything. Chitskoi being a glorified terror drone in this game, except a lot more tanky. A random engineer that was meant to capture the academy just dies on the spot. That makes the conscripts elite as well, considering Stack's a veteran. Wave continuing to be kited into oblivion here as he's just being bored up here. He still has a sizable army, got quite a fair amount of Jaguars here, but he can't kill anything. The mortar quads are missing. The mortar quad being fully uninitiated Latin's tier 1.5 anti-tank infantry. Very long ranged, not exactly the tankiest of things, but fairly respectable mobility, and they're basically dedicated anti-tank to some extent. Anti-structure, considering they outrange most tier 1 defences. I believe we see Morales out here on the field for Wave PY. We do indeed see Morales. He can depilot tier 1 and 2 tanks, in this case notably the Marauder, and does quite significant damage. Also does line damage as well. So for example, if you shot this initiate in the back, all of that lot would die. More Marauders being depiloted. If Wavepy had a couple of engineers, what he could do is just bolts them in there and start operating his own Marauders. However, how much difference they'd make is another matter entirely. Massive engagement down here for North and xyhh here. It looks like North's losing that. I do in fact believe he is losing. Volkov's... Although, no, it's going to look like it's going to be more of a draw, actually. I don't see Volkov alive in there anymore. It's just the conscripts and flag troopers. However, the Marauders come down here to finish things off. Mind control nabs a Marauder, gets rid of it. As... Okay, yeah, no. North fends back xyhh's attack as he runs out of money. That being xyhh. We've got seeing a couple of testing cruisers out here. Mini EMP. Wavepy starting to put the pressure on Volcanic. Over here as he moves his Marauder block to intercept. We're seeing Vultures out here, which Latin Confederation's Tier 3 helicopter, basically just armed with a machine gun and a napalm deploy. But they're going to provide some much needed air presence in order to try and counter the Marauders here. Wave leaves Morales out on the field completely exposed, and the Marauders just one-shot. Still seeing more mortar quads out here for Wave. We're starting to see Desolators, and we're going to start seeing Catastrophes. Catastrophes being Latin's Tier 3 monster tank with one single passenger slot, and they are open-topped, meaning that yes, you can put Desolators inside them. And yes, it is as broken as you think it is. North getting a lot of value out of these Diploc attackers, which is not something you see very often. Hell, one of them's killed enough to go veteran. Gonna start needing some AA here in order to deal with that, but he only gets 1 or 2. Starting to see archers down here for Volcanic just to deal with the Vultures here. Starting to see some Gatling cannons as well. He is on quadruple war factory here. No tier 3 as of yet. Just looking to build a presence here so we can mine out this war field here. What he should probably do is invest in a second MCV, get it down here and start mining out the ore field down here. So, because whilst xyhh can't land the killing blow on North, North can't land the killing blow on him. It is very much a standoff here on this map, which is not something it develops to very often. This tends to be very cutthroat, tanks everywhere, map control dominant game, but not quite this time. It's fairly even for both sides. xyhh packs up his Conyard here, having put down a number of hammer defenses, and needs a barracks down there, not only to boost his infantry production, but just to provide build radius. A Soul Invader out in the field for North, as it moves to depower xyhh's base for just a short while, but it is shot down eventually. Nothing in the production queue for either of the Team Swordfish members. Whilst let's have a look at North. North working on Cyclock, going to tier 3. Wave working on Industrial Park. Large Marauder force now here. MCV goes down here just to try and expand on build radius, although it should really be going down here. xyhh mounting an attack to try and stop North, trying to get tier 3. I don't think it's going to go ahead very well. Volkov gets the stun lock on these Marauders and the depths here. Volkov is now elite as well, but there are Dune Riders out here on the field and a Soul Marauder here. That Volkov is going to die. There we go. As North gets tier 3. He has, however, depowered himself, which is interesting. Gonna need to stick something in that bioreactor to fix the problem. There's Wave now investing in Buratinos. Buratinos being the tier 3 siege unit. In an effort to try and deal with that. Oh, that is lucky! Wow! Okay, so the X-Mix is spawning from the top of the map, meaning that Morales can basically just call in a structure and the X-Mix just arrive instantly. That is really convenient for Wave. Flame Tower deployment here. As the hammer defenses start opening up, the hammers being the tier 3 anti-vehicle defense, large AoE, instant attack there. Basically grand cannons for the Soviets, as every faction gets their own tier 3 defense. Smoke planes down here, debuffing the entire enemy army here with 50% debuff. That's how strong smoke is in this game. as Wave targets the barracks in order to try and stop the hammer production in the immediate vicinity, as he just picks them all off one by one. These are a lot of mortar quads here. Wave basically one-shots whatever those hit, as these hammers are just being picked off one by one. xyhh here looking to have to land a killing blow on North, as North is very much distracted. I hear Iron Curtain go down for Wave PY here, as his Desotastrophes will just simply be able to move through here and mow everything down if they can find their targets. Jaguar in there as well. Buratino's targeting the power network as well. The Iron Curtain looks like it's going to be wasted a bit here with its duration, because they're all caught up in the back here. They're now getting stuck into the fight here, but there's been a lot less damage than could have been caused as these catastrophes simply move forward into the fray. xyhh calling off his attack on North, going in to support his ally, as it is dire straits for Volcanic here, but Wave can't land the killing blow on his Conyard. Volcanic gets to live another day, but it did have to be bailed out by his ally. North not exactly looking to be in the greatest of positions either. He is bankrupt completely and doesn't look like he has many miners left in the field either. That is an infiltrator out here disguised as a shock trooper, looking to probably steal money off of xyhh here, although I think it's been, yeah, that's been seen a mile away. Those marauders will just wipe. Yep, there we go. Okay, xyhh here going on the counter-attack, but it looks like he's being repulsed by just the sheer mass of mortar quads here. Tina's there. Elite Morales still on the field here. Wave still the richest player on the map by far, but he's mined out the ore field there. He's mining out this gem patch as well. Libra on the field here, Psycore Commando. Again, another glass cannon there, fires a bunch of darts with burst fire. Quite high damage, but she's also very fragile. Yeah, North's extremely concerned about this mass of veteran shock troopers, Tesla cruisers, and Tigger APCs. Volkov's now making an addition into the army as well. It does not look good for North. All he has are 3 masterminds, a marauder, 2 Doom Riders, and that's about it. And Libra. Okay, make that 4 masterminds. Yeah, North's lack of expansion is biting him in the arse today. Those Tesla cruisers, Tiggers, Volkov, just for the anti-structure damage, could probably finish North right here, right now. Wave's on his way down to try and help with the defense. Volcanic coming down here in order to try and help. He has no anti-structure damage, and these 2 hammers will clean up any attack of those marauders anyway, so they're best down here. It looks like North may hold on to this. You can see Risen Monolith called in down here for Volcanic. Start shooting out various things. We're seeing smoke planes coming in here, but they're completely off the mark here. Bit of a waste from Wave PY there. However, Iron Curtain is almost ready. Okay, more war factories coming out there for xyhh, and Volcanic still not making it. Does he have tier 3? He does. Volcanic now actually taking the spot of richest player. xyhh and Volcanic shifting their attack towards Wave PY. Wave is caught on the low ground here, and it looks like he's going to get folded on completely. He should probably burn the Iron Curtain whilst he still has catastrophes to use it on. Yep, there we go, there's the Iron Curtain. There's the magnetic beam, which will slow down whatever's in its radius. Morales looks like he's just going to get focused down and die. Yep, there goes Morales. Whereas these Desotastrophes looks like they just rout the attack on their own. Once that Iron Curtain wears off though, those Desotastrophes will just be toast. There they go. Okay, the Iron Curtain effect's still there. But it looks like Wave is going to hold this attack off. North coming in down here with his own forces here, relying mostly on the Masterminds as a force amplifier, but he is up against Russia. Remember here that the Tesla Cruiser has a mini EMP effect that will shut the unit down for just a second, but a second is all you need to break a mind control link. forces of Russia are in fact in the best position to deal with masterminds here, as Tesla Cruisers, both anti-armor and pre-equipped mind control links. North preparing more infiltrators here, likely to try and steal more money off of xyhh here, as he is mining that gem patch out big time. If you ever wanted to steal money, now is the time. It looks like that MCV is going to start deploying over here in an effort to try and mine out this patch as well. North's economy, however, needs to stabilise at some stage. He needs to pull more miners over here to this Orpheum and get another refinery ever so slightly closer. North, again, extremely concerned about the fact that, well, you know, he's got to fucking die to this Tesla Cruiser blob. And Wave, again, coming down here to try and bail him out. Well, our Wave is going through the low ground. Volcanic plays his cards right. You can probably get 1 or 2 catastrophes from transit. Or not. Okay, no, Wave sees the attack. Stops the mortar pods and they open up. I think I saw Maraud and the Stinger go down. However, I can't be certain. Antara's battery down there for North in an effort to try and hold the line. The Antara's battery, the Epsilon equivalent to the Hammer defense. I believe Chitskoi is in that army. Oh dear, maybe dead now. Yeah, Chitskoi is dead, but not before he gets a few masterminds, which is honestly not that great for North. He's been relying on those as a force amplifier. More infiltrators out here for North, but they come out at the worst possible time, and xyhh just spots them and shoots them in the spot. Wave, instead of directly assisting North, he's going to try and put pressure on Volcanic here, in an effort to try and force xyhh to either to assist his ally. However, I don't think Wave is going to be able to get away with that attack. It looks like xyhh is just going to commit into this. And to be fair, he probably should, because he can kill North right here, right now. Whereas Volcanic can simply hold on for another short while, yeah. North sells off the cloning battery in a desperate effort to try and claw back some money, but he simply doesn't have the forces left to do anything. We can just see the mini EMP playing havoc with Magnetrons and Mastermind effective mind control links here. North is going to lose his tier 3 Pandora hub with the Psych Plug extension, and now it's just a case of divide and conquer. Wave does not have Iron Curtain ready yet. There goes the overcharge of the Russia's abilities, which buffs all Tesla weapons. And yeah, xyhh can simply go ham on the enemy here. That's a very accidental Libra deploy there from Volcanic. Oh dear, that could have been disastrous. But it only claims 1 more order. Libra does have a deploy that buffs her armor and forces her to start vehicles over. There goes the Iron Curtain from Wave, but it's not going to make much of a difference here. There's too much for 2 catastrophes to clear on, and they could just afford to ignore them and start leaving up North. North may have 7k in the bank, but he doesn't have any production, nor does he really have any units to fight the Tesla Cruiser. That's an elite prison monster. Shame it does, I say. Yeah, North has no power here, quite literally, and it's just being dismantled. And with just Tesla Cruisers, even though they're not able to kill structures very well, they're still killing structures at a fairly respectable rate. Funny how people want to buff them, but there we are. Really don't need it. Look at that, they're just able to take out that structure. They're focusing on the Coneyard now as well. I think at this stage it's over for North and Wave PY, as Wave simply can't bail North out this time. It's just simply too much. North's lost too much infrastructure. He's gonna lose his Coneyard. Gets the power grid back online, but he has no factory. Yeah, this is it for North. He can't really rebuild from this. Hammer defense opens up on the levers, which is obviously the wrong target, but it's also a wild thing to do. So there we go, it goes down. Waves infrastructure is going to start to go as well. Yeah, that's it. North has no more production. He serves only to be a deposit bank for the enemy now, and he is quite the deposit bank, 16k in the game. Wave trying to mount a desperate final relief effort, but it's far too little, far too late. No anchor, and well, North's it. North's out of the game. He has no production. Wave's mine has been caught out here with the Tesla Cruiser block, and it is just going to be a slow death by a painful electrocution. Here we are. We've just got Tesla Cruiser blocking up. Smoke plane comes in again, but it's far too little, too late. And it's not quite... Okay, debuffs the enemy, but there's nothing to stop them anyway. It's one hammer defense, but... One hammer defense. They can afford to just dive full wave space now. Clean that up. Here come more Tesla Cruisers. It's literally just Tesla Cruiser production now, because that's all xyhh needs. Does it need Scuds? Well, it doesn't need to siege the enemy down. Sure, whilst Russia would not only make Scud launchers to deal anti-structure damage, it doesn't need them. Single catastrophe with a desolator inside it, but that's not going to do anything. Wave is the first to pull GG here. Yep, there we go. Wave hits the observe button. That is it. Alright, North. What were you playing? You were playing Psychor. Come on.